full of tender and sweet apple pie filling. Yeah. That good. My family has made apple pies once every year for longer than I can remember, starting with my grandma's recipe that she started in upstate New York when my dad was a little kid. It's my favorite tradition, and I want to tell you about it from when we get the apples all the way until we make the pies. So first things first is getting the apples. 16 years ago, when my parents wanted to learn this recipe, they needed apples, but no ordinary grocery store apples would do for this. So we went, I was little, I went to Apple Hill, and more specifically, Larson's Apple Farm. And it's in NorCal, don't know if you guys have been there, but on the outside, Larson's looks like a big red barn, pretty much. And the inside looks more like a warehouse. When you first go in, we always go towards the right where there's a sampling table. And for our apple pies, we need 1 sweet apple and 1 tart apple. And it changes every year depending on which apples we see fit. So we taste a little bit of each apple, and then we pick out the ones we want. And we go to the left, and we get our big boxes of apples. And before we check out, we make sure we get some apple cider, because you cannot leave Apple Hill without taking home cider. Then we always get 2 gallons, and we put 1 gallon in the apples in the cart, and across the street there's a green field, and this is our picnic spot. So we take 1 of the gallons of apple cider, and we take our picnic lunch, and we go eat our picnic lunch. And it's the most cliche family picnic ever, and it was amazing, and it's my favorite thing. The next weekend, we make the apple pies, and we start by clearing every surface in the kitchen. And the counters get a nice dose of flour everywhere, and the kitchen table gets newspapers. My mom is in charge of crust making, and my dad is in charge of the filling. And we have kind of helped, me and my brothers have helped in both places. And one of my favorite memories is the filling making. We peel the apples on a little spinner, and it makes these little snake of skin. Me and my brothers will eat the skin while my dad's working. But all in all, we make about 12 pies per year, and this is one of my favorite traditions, not just because I get apple pie at the end, which is awesome, but because I get to spend real quality time with my family, and a lot of it, and there's nothing more important to me.
All right, Kayla, what is it that you'd like to work on this quarter?
I like to work on not being monotone, so adding some range to my voice, and confidence.
All right, how do you feel like this will present?
Better than I thought it would, so yeah.
Okay, what was your expectation and how did you exceed it?
I thought I'd be looking at my paper a lot and trying to hide from you guys by reading, but I think I did a fairly good job at looking up, so.
What a nice way to walk away from your first speech. Exceeding expectations, that's always a wonderful thing. Okay, audience, if you have any questions or comments that you'd like to make to Kayla, please do so now.
Where's your hometown?
Roseville.
Okay, I'm from Tulsa. So an hour now. Yeah.
I really liked your delivery. You seemed very comfortable up there, and you definitely put the audience at ease. I was very calm listening to your speech, and I really liked it.
Thank you.
Okay, teammates, if you could.
Well, I really liked the order that you organized your speech, and I think you painted a good picture. I could actually picture your family going to the right and then going to the left and walking and like eating your picnic and then like going back to your house and like throwing flour over your table and like I don't know, like I pictured like my kitchen kind of, but like I could like picture it really, really well. So I think you did a good job.
Thank you.
I liked how we delivered it because it wasn't a very personal speech, but it was like kind of like more intimate, I guess, and so not really.
I like the speech. I thought you were at ease, but I think you used some filler words like during your speech. Like, you used like a lot, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I liked the conversational tone and how you weren't behind the phone.
Thank you.
Okay, Kayla. First of all, I want to compliment you on being really slow and deliberate with your opening sentences. That's sometimes the hardest time to slow down because you just want to start and get going, right? So being really deliberate and intentional, I think was really, really effective. One thing I might add is think about what, when you close your eyes and you smell apple pie, think about what words you could use to sort of tantalize that sort of warm cinnamon, bubbling apple. You know, kind of like let that visual sink in a little bit more. That would be one thing I would say to just add just a little bit more richness to it, but keep that slowness really was effective. That was nice. That was really nice. And the other thing, you can use speed as and changing up your speed to break up a monotone voice equally as you can. Changing your register, right? So to that end, it did a nice job of having something really different than the body of your speech. So a couple of things there. Okay. You noted in the introduction in the beginning that you were going to be talking about your day, right, and sort of how it all lays out. So I think that you did that nicely. That followed through within your speech. So it was clear where you were and what was going on. So I thought that worked to your advantage. I thought you were quite voice while you were speaking. You used a little bit of gestures, but they didn't look awkward or whatnot. So you were pretty well voiced. At times you looked down, but for the most part you held eye gaze with us. So I think you were right to have the podium like that and not hide behind it. You came across more confidently that way. Okay. So I think that worked. It was just a little bit soft at the beginning, but that slowness and that richness kind of hooked us in, right? So I think that was effective. Just make sure that we don't lose too much of the volume. Okay. Some filler language, some some likes, some as we work on it over the course, if you can reduce those a bit. All right. Okay, thank you.